Hey everyone, I'm Jennifer Almaguer and I'm here to help you dig deeper into your truth. Today, I want to talk about codependency. See, I've been on this journey of codependency and I had no idea. I realized it after a decade or more later, probably a little more actually. And the way I found out that I was a codependent was through deep, dark heartbreak. And see, the thing about codependence, what we suffer, I no longer suffer from this. I didn't have a desire to be wanted and needed. I needed it for survival. I absolutely had to have someone with me so I can feel worthy. All of this stems back from something in our childhood, something that we just didn't receive as children. And so, unbeknownst to me, as I grew up, I was always searching outside of myself to fill my love tank because it was empty. There was nothing at the bottom to hold it in. So everyone that I came in contact with, as far as my ex-husband or boyfriends that I dated after my divorce, that love that they would provide for me, it would just slip right out because, like I said, there was nothing to hold it in. And that love that we seek outside of ourselves really should be provided for us by us. It's quite the process, and if you have experienced a major loss, as in a breakup or a divorce, first of all, it is one of the most devastating losses. It is so painful. And for a codependent, it's deadly for the soul. I had to go through a dark night of the soul. And after I awakened to my truth of being codependent, I went out into the world feeling like I was whole and complete because I had found myself. And then I repeated the pattern. Because see, this is the thing about life, the universe. You heal certain parts of yourself, but then other circumstances, other people that will bring this circumstance will come into your reality to push you a little further into your healing. Codependents are people who tend to want to fix other people. They are very compassionate, they're very loving, they're very giving. And then it can turn into resentment because the love that we are giving subconsciously, we are wanting and needing that to be reciprocated. And as time goes on in your relationship, you want more and more and more of it. It's never going to be enough because no one outside of yourself will ever be able to fill your love tank the way that it's meant to be. And that is how come I say we need to learn how to fill our own tank. So if you catch yourself in this situation where you're realizing that you are a codependent, know that there are so many of us out in the world experiencing the same thing. There's people that have already recovered. There are people that are going through it at this moment. And there's going to be people in the future that are going to tap into this truth within themselves. The way I was able to heal was meditation. Meditation was the awakening to my truth, who you really are. Who are you, Jen? And it was, at first, the awakening came through feeling my heart. I was able to tap into my true feelings for the very first time. And all the past pains that I had gone through, they turned into beauty. And I was on this high, this high on life feeling. I was ecstatic. I finally understood more of our spiritual world, more of my energy. But then what came after that was I began to really look at myself in the mirror. And that was a really hard thing to do. Because see, the thing is, we tend to point fingers. When we go through really rough times in our relationships, a lot of times we will blame the other person. But you see, we get who we are. And when you are an incomplete person, you will get a partner that will mirror that. They're going to mirror all those little holes that you have inside of yourself so you can fill them up. It can be a really tough concept when you're in the middle of a really tough relationship where you're just not understanding why things are not going right. Like you're constantly draining each other. When you are whole and complete, then yeah, you will have your hard times, but deep in your gut, you know that you're going to get through it. A codependent person will feel like they will never find that true love. They will never be able to see how couples that have it together and they've been together for so long, and we long and we yearn for that. But the secret to those couples that are making a long-lasting relationship work is that those are two whole individuals. So I go back to saying that we attract the likeness of who we are. So after I had this awakening, and then this really dark side of having to look at myself in the mirror, and that's when I saw all of the pain that I have caused my ex-husband, that I drained so badly because I was a toxic person. That's the other thing. When you are codependent, you are constantly draining other people and you become a toxic person. If you've ever been around a toxic person, you know that all you want to do is get away from this person. So as I began to discover these truths about myself, I then had to go a little bit further, because see, the thing about codependency, it's not just the one layer awakening and you realize where you are and who you are, and then it's not a quick fix. It's digging deeper down into the layers of all of that trauma, that pain. And at the core of this too, I kept abandoning myself. And see, that's the thing also about codependency, is that you have this strong fear of abandonment. So subconsciously, you are going to choose people that are going to abandon you, because it is pretty much what you're used to. They can abandon you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, because you have a lot of work to do on your own. So what's the best way to grow is through pain. So when you hit rock bottom, you feel hopeless, you feel like you're never going to feel better, and you don't feel God's presence. You're so disconnected to your truth and you're so engulfed in this pain. You just feel like you're going to be here forever. Just stay put. Continue, just stay in those emotions too, because when a lot of the times that what I tended to do, I had no idea that this was my coping mechanism, was I was numbing out my pain. I was drinking a lot of wine because I couldn't take those strong, empty, lifeless emotions. My spirit was lifeless. The best way to heal it is just go through it, feel everything. You're going to go through a grievance, and those stages of grief. I'm not going to name them all. I'm sure you can look those up, or maybe I'll put them up on this video. You've got to allow yourself to go through that grieving pain. You're grieving the old you. I did so many things to help me heal, but one of the things that I know helped me a lot was I went to a recovery group, a divorce recovery group, and it's the principles that we learned can be applied to long-term relationships. There's a lot of people now that are living together and they're not necessarily married, but when you rip apart, the pain is the same. You lose so much of yourself, not just your home, maybe financial security, but you also lose your hopes and you lose your dreams that you had created with your partner, and in your mind and your heart and in your being, like your whole world falls apart. But anything that you're going through that is ripping your world apart, it's because it's supposed to change. You are ready for something better, something bigger, something greater beyond what you can even imagine right now. Life is a series of ups and downs, And I know for me as a codependent, a recovering codependent, I would say honestly, like it took maybe about 2 years to fully recover from the pain that I had been on. And see, at this, if I go 2 years back, it was like the awareness of it. And then you got to go through it. See, because the universe is going to pop up, bring up these opportunities, these relationships, these, a guy to date, a girl to date, to really work on yourself. And so once you continue to move forward, and I'm not saying, don't date. Like sometimes that's what you have to do to figure yourself out even more. And you will get to the point, I promise you, I am now living my best life. I'm by myself, but for the first time, I don't feel alone. Know that if you continue to work on yourself and you continue to dig deep, I promise you, you're going to be okay. You're going to be way more than okay. You're going to be thriving, living one of your best moments of your life. Hey, before I forget, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, it would be awesome if you subscribe, and even more awesome if you share this video, this message, with someone who you know will benefit from it.